What a game Saturday night in Knoxville. And welcome in. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. My name's J.P. Shadrick. We've got a busy show ahead as always. It's Pete Prisco of CBS Sports joining us. Tony Boselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. You might have heard of him. Kind of a big deal. Not sure when he's going to join. Maybe segment 2. He'll be with us. We're out to Tony. He'll join us tonight at some point. The Colts over the Jaguars 34-27 the final. Defensive coverage issues. The offensive running game was there, though. 243 yards on the ground for the Jags. And we'll have the Fanatics fan questions as always. We'll go around the National Football League as well. Let's hear from Doug Peterson right after the game last night. Disappointed, of course, in the losing result.
Credit them. I mean, their game plan today obviously was, not to huddle as much and try to play a little tempo and get the ball out quickly and, try to eliminate, some of your pass rush that way. And, they did a good job with that. Our guys battled for 60 minutes, and we just gotta find a time, a place, a play somewhere that we can win these games. And it's obviously an opportunity to do that, and our guys will be better. We'll be better for it as we go.
The Jaguars took the lead on an 18-play, 10-minute drive in the fourth quarter and finally got it in the end zone for the lead, but still couldn't get the win. And Trevor Lawrence after the game on the difficulty of finding W's in the NFL.
It's hard to win. Every team's good. So it's, I've known how hard it is to win, especially after last season, and so we had some close games, some that weren't so close. All those things. It's hard to win. You got to play well. Like you're not gonna luck into any wins in the NFL. You got to play a complete game, offense, defense, special teams, and you can't let up at all. You can't take a breath. And I think, we're gonna look at some times in that game where, speaking specifically offensively, where we had them 14-3, and I think that's when we got to strike, and we got to keep going and dominate the game and really take over. And there was a little bit of a lull there. Let them get back in the game at the end of the second half, and then we came out end of the first half. Then the beginning of the second half, we came out, scored first drive, kind of got back on track. So there's positives, there's negatives. You look at all of it, and we'll get better.
And then the Jaguars defense yesterday gave up 43 completions to Matt Ryan. It's a career high for the 15th-year quarterback for the Colts, and, of course, couldn't hold up on the final Colts possession of the game. It was a 3rd and 13 play. Matt Ryan had Alec Pierce over Jags cornerback Shaq Griffin, and in the locker room after the game, Griffin explained.
Thought process was the whole time was going right back, trying to get convert third downs, going back shoulder. So I played inside like I usually do. They kind of threw over the shoulder, and they've been calling so many pass interference. Every time we hand fighting and he pushing, I'm pulling, and end up tripping over my feet and stuff like that usually don't happen. It happened today, so that one hurt me.
We welcome in CBS Sports senior writer Pete Prisco joining us now from South Florida, and there you have it. That's how it all went down in Indy yesterday. Good afternoon.
I mean, that's a game you had to win. There's no reason to lose that game. You were the better team. I think the defense really had some issues on Sunday. But you take the lead late in that game, you got to get them on the ground at some point. You have to get them on the ground. And the crossing routes all day long.
All day.
The zone coverage was terrible. Guys, they waited till they dropped out in the zone and threw underneath them all day. And then, Shaq Griffin had a rough go of it. I mean, Darius Williams wasn't great either. I mean, and Jenkins didn't play that well either. The one guy in the secondary who did play well was Tyson Campbell, but you got to be better than that. And so I thought they would win the game when they took the early lead. I didn't like we'll get into all this, but I didn't like the fourth down call one bit.
Oh, the option pitch, all. The option play.
Well, or third down. If you're going to go for it, run it twice. Didn't like it. Didn't like the inside shovel pass for the 2-point conversion. I mean, there was a lot not to like. The offense ran the ball for over 200 yards. You got to like that. Yep. They did some good things on offense. I put a play out today. They went, unbalanced a couple different times, and when they ran the ball on the touchdown to Hasty, that was an unbalance to the right. They did it a couple other times as well. So they get creative on offense. I like what they do, but there's no way you can let Matt Ryan go down the field and not only get you could have put him in a situation where they're going to get a field goal, No. They hit the touchdown pass on him. So
I mean,
that can't happen, JP.
Yeah, and Doug Peterson talked about that scenario. We'll hear from him coming up a little bit later. I mean, that's really a no risk for the offense at that point because they feel like they're in field goal range already. Might as well throw it up. Maybe you get a touchdown. Maybe you get a defensive pass interference, and the Jags just weren't there to make the play on that third down and force a 52-yard field goal, I guess it would have been at that point. So
yeah, that's not a gimme either. I mean,
right.
And I get why they're in man coverage. They're trying to knock him out of field goal range, and they did get some pressure on him.
They did. Hit him in the leg.
Low.
Yeah.
But Shaq Griffin made a terrible play. And he'll be the first one to admit it. He's a stand-up guy. He admitted it after game. I give him credit for that. But he's not playing well. He just isn't. He's got to be better.
He had 2 penalties in the game too, Pete.
And he's trailing a bunch. He trailed those crossing routes a bunch. And so I just think when you look at this team, that's one that they're going to look back on. Not that they're going to be a playoff team or anything, but they're going to look back on it and go, we should have won that game. And if they win that game, they're in the smack dab in the middle of the division race.
Absolutely. Yeah, they'd be in second place right now in the division behind Tennessee, who was off last week. And, this is Matt Ryan, right? 15th year. He led the league in most sacks allowed by this Colts offense coming into the game. The Jaguars got to him, I think, 6 times officially and hit him, but no sacks in the game. And a lot of that's the design. They got it out quick a lot. That's why there were so many passes, completions. The career high, as we said, 43 completions, which is amazing. And the 10th best yardage day in Matt Ryan's career, 389 yards. Imagine that of all days. That happened yesterday, Pete.
Well, their short passing game was initially it started off that way, was an extension of their run game. That's what it was. They would when the Jaguars were in zone, they would let them drop out and then they'd throw to the back, get the ball out, boom, get the ball out, get the crossing routes, get the ball out. And they didn't allow them to get pressure on the quarterback. The only times the Jaguars actually got pressure on the quarterback were a couple inside pushes. And then there were some twists and stunts that ended up getting guys in. Allen beat somebody one time. He beat the left tackle one time, I think. But there wasn't a lot of winning on the edge. And we go back to Trayvon Walker again. He's a good football player, but at some point he's got to develop some pass rush move. The guys he's working against, Braden Smith and Dennis Kelly are not exactly, Tony Boselli and Leon Searcy. They're just not great players, and they just did not get the push they needed. And I think some of that has to do with Walker's inability to create with his hands and create with the change of pace, change of direction. Tony's been saying it all year long. He runs right into the midsection of a guy. Right. And he's a big, powerful man, so I get it. And a lot of times he can even get pushed that way. But once you get the initial push, use the hands and get off that guy. It'll come for him, but it's not coming right now, and that's a concern.
That's Pete Prisco. I'm J.P. Shadrick. Tony Boselli coming up in just a little bit. We're reacting to the Jaguars' loss in Indianapolis in Week 6. The Jags now 2-4 for the season. The Jags offense ran for 243 yards as a team, Pete, the 6th best day in franchise history. Of course, as you would imagine, the Jaguars won the 5 better days than that when running the football in franchise history, but protected the ball. Trevor Lawrence was efficient. They didn't push the ball down the field. They didn't really. They ran the ball a bunch in this game and collected a bunch of yardage and found something in this Colts defense. And then that drive, we mentioned it at the top, 18 plays, 10 minutes and change, converted a bunch of third downs. Trevor with his legs a few times on third down and a fourth down play converted it and kept it going, kept it moving, and then finished in the end zone with a 4-yard touchdown. It's something they hadn't done as an offense this year, a fourth quarter take the lead drive, and they finally did it.
Yeah, and JP, they really ran ETN showed some real pop. I think Robinson showed some toughness. He got the long run by Hasty. The line played good in the run game. So when you have 3rd and 1, you have that 3rd and 1, and it was 21-13 at that point. You have a 3rd and 1. If you're going to go for it on 4th down, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, they threw on 3rd down, correct?
Let's see. Let me find this. I got to go back and find this.
And then they ran that stupid option play down the line, which was moronic.
Yeah. So, all right. It was 21.
Yeah, he underthrew Kirk.
It was 21-19 was the score at this point, and Then it was 1st and 10 at the 41. Lawrence to Ingram
Here's
for
the
8
third and 1
yards.
play right here. He underthrows Kirk.
Yeah.
He's wide open.
That's right, to the right.
That should have been an easy conversion.
Yep, 3rd and 1 to the right.
Okay,
Kirk.
that's an easy conversion. He's got to hit that. Trevor Lawrence has to hit that. It's just no reason not to hit that. 0.
And then they
But
line
then you
up.
come down. Now you got 4th and 1. They're not even. You've been pounding them.
And then
Run to the left side.
And then look at the push from the defensive left on the line for the Colts on that play too.
Run it back. Run that play back. If from the top, I think if you can watch if they run to the left side, there's nobody over there.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a bad decision if you're going for it on 4th down, not to run it inside on one of those plays. And why not run it inside on one of the plays, and then you did on 1 4th down later, you pushed Trevor Lawrence. Everybody should do that on 4th and inches and 4th and short nowadays. You get to push them.
Yeah, you get those. That's allowed now. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not. But Trevor's got to hit that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That has to be a completed pass for a 1st down, keep the drive going. And then look at the left side. There's nobody over there. That's where you run. Everybody's on this side. Run to the left.
Pete, did you see last night? I think the Eagles ran it where it almost looked like victory formation on a 4th and short, and then they had like 3 guys. They had 3 guys push him.
Why wouldn't everybody should do that?
And Penn State did it. They have this wing T kind of set with 3 guys in a line behind the quarterback. He sneaks it, and they all 3 just push him. That's what happens.
Look, Doug Peterson is a really good play caller. He really is. But over the course of the last 2 games, there's been some questionable ones for me, at least. Particularly when you're pounding the ball the way they're pounding the ball. Here comes Boselli. He's going to argue with me. He's going to disagree. I can just see it. He's coming off the golf course all hot because he probably didn't have a birdie or 2.
That's funny. That's funny. Hey, we'll take a time out and let that marinate for a second. We'll come back and get Tony Boselli in here, the Hall of Famer. It's unbelievable, Pete. It's unbelievable.
Look at him. He's in his golf cart.
I can't see him. We don't have it on the air yet. We'll come back, and if he's in a golf cart, we will all lose it. We are off and running. What a show it's going to be, apparently. In a reaction to this Jaguars loss to the Colts in Week 6, we are just underway. Glad you're with us today on 1010XL AM, Jaguars.com, Jaguars social media, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hey Jags fans, Brian Sexton for Dreamfinders Homes. In a complex housing market, do decisions on the biggest purchase of your life stress you out? At Dreamfinders Homes, they can build the home of your dreams in one of their many communities in Northeast Florida. With a mortgage company in-house, they're here to assist you throughout the entire process. Choose from their wide range of single-family homes or townhomes from the 300,000s. Dreamfinders Homes specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. Call 904-590-2545 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com. The world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and Jaguars players you love. Shop the most trusted brands, exclusive designs by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars. Join Fanatics Rewards today and earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
Thinking about your favorite whiskey or whiskey-based cocktail for this weekend's party or tailgate? Us too. While you're out shopping for supplies, don't forget to pick up a bottle of the 2022 Jaguars whiskey available at most local Jacksonville liquor stores. Not leaving the couch this weekend? No problem. You can also order a bottle online at citrusdistillersonline.com. Every bottle is made locally here in Duval.
Reconnect with the best version of you at Amara Med Spa, Northeast Florida's premier luxury medical spa, located in Ponte Vedra, Town Center, Avondale, St. Augustine, and Fernandina. With the most advanced injectors, estheticians, and technology, Amara Med Spa is redefining beauty. Offering services such as Botox and filler, M-Sculpt Neo, painless laser hair removal, and advanced skincare treatments. Visit theamaramedspa.com and book a complimentary consultation today.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at TIAA Bank Field because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Bono's is currently expanding its brand with franchise opportunities throughout the Southeast and beyond. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit barbecue and owning your own business are a great combo. Go to bonosbarbq.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. Jaguars Today. All Jaguars, all NFL, all the time. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
When you run a lot more man, they try to start running more pick routes. They see opponents run over it, they identify man coverage. And the main thing was they're going to throw one pick route somewhere in the middle where it's going to give somebody, at least one person, a chance to get open. And that's the part that we have to adjust to. They knew we were going to run a little bit more man and, try to get after the quarterback. And, that's why they started hitting with a more quick game to try to extend the run. So, I got to give my hat off to them, being able to adjust, make some changes when it comes to making our man calls. So,
That is Shaq Griffin in the locker room in Indy yesterday. Welcome back. And for 9 years, Dreamfinders Homes has been proud to call themselves the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for all the available inventory and go Jags. This is Jaguars Happy Hour. J.P. Shadrick, Pete Prisco, and yes, Hall of Famer Tony Boselli finally joins the program. Good afternoon, Tony. Where are you right now?
I am in Evansville, Indiana, freezing my tail off. It was a beautiful day in Indianapolis yesterday. A cold front came through, and I was playing this corporate event. And the best thing that happened to me was I had to do the show. So I'm like, I got to go, guys. It's like blowing 30 miles an hour, wind chills about 40 degrees. It's miserable.
So wait, so you stayed behind to play golf in Evansville, Indiana?
Yeah, I'd work. It's called The Job, Pete. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
It's your company. Yeah, because I don't work. So how was the course?
Oh, it's a beautiful course. It is hard, but it's cold and windy. I am so soft, Pete. Like back in the day, I had no sleeves, tough. Now I have like 8 layers on. What was the temperature?
Unreal. 40s?
It's like 40s.
Ugh.
Brutal. Ugh. Who would
if it
live
gets
in?
under 80 for me, it's cold, so I can't deal with that.
Miserable.
And by the way, I hear I think it's going to get a little chilly up by your way this week too. Up there, is it, JP? Get a little cold front coming in.
Where, Jacksonville?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't know. Really? Weatherman Pete here. I had no idea.
Well, because I know it's going to get under 80 here this week one day, so I'm a little concerned.
I mean, I guess my point is does it matter? I still have to come out of the house and do things no matter what the weather is.
You don't got to play golf like Boselli did in freezing cold temperatures.
Right. That's what happens. All right, so Tony, they had it, and then they didn't have it at the end.
I've not got a chance to watch the film today because of my transit.
Playing golf.
I did.
That's why.
I did.
But my takeaway from watching it live and kind of thinking about last night and this morning is this is a team now twice that has taken the lead in the fourth quarter and has not been able to hold on to it. And it's a team that needs to learn how to win and needs to learn when you have to make the play, you make a play. That was a game yesterday. The offense did exactly what they were supposed to do, 10-play drive, big-time throws from Trevor, good play calling. They punch it in, take the lead with 2:20 left in the game.
Well, they didn't do a very good job on the 2-point conversion.
That's fine. That's fine, but they did with the 10-play. 10-minute drive.
No, it was a good drive. It was a good drive.
And you get one stop, Pete. The game's over.
I agree. You're supposed to get one of those guys. I said that to JP before. One of those guys has to get him on the ground in that drive. Has to.
And which was you're exactly right, Pete. And so it leads to the bigger conversation. How does Matt Ryan drop back 58 times and he has 0 sacks?
0.
We got the ball out. You got the ball out quick a lot too.
Okay, it does not matter.
I'm with you.
Pat, Pete, that's a bad offensive line. If you're not going to sack them, you got to batter them. You got to beat the hell out of them.
And the only real pressures that came were a couple stunts. There was a loop. Walker got a loop one time inside. You had Hamilton actually got him one time inside. Roy Robertson there was not a lot from the edges at all. And that's what I said before, Tony. I said Dennis Kelly and Smith are not you and Leon. I mean, it's not a good tackle group.
And Josh Allen had one nice rush on that last drive, early in the drive, where he smoked Matt Ryan. I'm like, okay, get that going. Do that. If you know this, if you hit a guy like Matt Ryan like that about 10 times, all of a sudden it gets even quicker.
Like in game 1.
That's right.
Yeah, and Tony, you were spot on you've been right about him the whole time. I'm going to give you credit on this. Trayvon Walker does not have any moves. He runs smack dab. Almost every single rush is right into the teeth of the guy's chest. And that will work in college. Even the bad tackles in the NFL can handle that.
The bad tackles want you to run into them.
Right.
They're hoping for that.
At some point, he's got to learn how to use his hands. There's no hand.
He has all the tools, Pete. He's got length, he's got speed, he's got power, and he's not using them right now. And he's not a natural pass rusher. And Jeff and I said it before the season. Not that I don't think he's a good player, and not that I don't think he can develop into a good pass rusher. But he's not a natural pass rusher using his hands. This is not a polished guy coming from college who is a natural pass rusher. He's a great athlete. He's a good football player. He's physical. He's tough, but he's not a pass rusher. And you can't let the Colts sit back there and pass it 58 times and not hitting Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm that has to be the most disappointing area of this team so far this year is the fact that you thought with Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker you're going to have bookends that gave you dynamic pass rush off the edge. It's not even close to that. Now, Josh Allen's played good football. Don't get me wrong, but where are the sack numbers? They get no sacks. You got to be able to put the guy on the ground. They don't put him on the ground.
And at the end of the day, you just got to get a stop somehow. You got to get a stop at some point. That's a team that was averaging 13.8 points a game going into that game. I think they were the worst of the NFL. They scored 34. You can't give up 34 to that team.
Yeah, they scored on their last 5 drives. They scored every time.
It was almost like it was easy for him at times too. Snap the ball out, guy wide open. Snap the ball out, guy wide open. Even if you take a little time to get a crossing route, still going to be wide open, no pressure. I mean, it was easy. Get the back, let all those linebackers drop out 40 yards like they always do and throw to the back underneath them. That's another thing, by the way. Devin Lloyd had a bad game in coverage, a really bad game. When they lined him up wide a couple times on guys, he got beat. And he's lucky, by the way, on the tight end completion that the tight end didn't keep going up the seam because it would have been a touchdown. And he hasn't played well in the last couple of weeks. He's kind of overthinking everything and he's stumbling around a little bit in coverage. And
he got taken out on a couple of plays and they brought movement in.
Yeah.
At one point in the game. I don't know if that was for performance or what was going on. It was at times it was easy, but here's the other thing, and I think it was 3 or 4 of their drives that led to touchdowns were assisted by a big penalty. 3rd and long, Trayvon Walker roughs the passer. 3rd and long, Shaq Griffin PI. 3rd and long, Shaq Griffin PI. And there was one other that they were off the field.
Yeah.
If they don't have big defensive penalties.
Trayvon Walker's got to quit roughing the quarterback, man. I mean, it's the only time he sniffs him, so I guess he gets excited and wants to hit him.
Well, I mean, but that's 2 weeks in a row bad roughing the passer penalties that extended drives that led to touchdown.
And ultimately cost them the game. You can look at it and say it could have cost them the game. Look, he's got to pick up his play. The one guy who actually played okay yesterday on the defensive line, Hamilton played okay yesterday. He did some good things on the inside, but Luakon didn't do a lot. I didn't think Lloyd played that well. Tyson Campbell had a really good game. Everybody else in the secondary was bad.
I didn't think Jenkins was bad.
He was okay. You go back and watch it, you'll think differently. He was just okay. Do they have a Shaq Griffin problem?
They did yesterday, and
they've had it a lot this year, and they've had it some last year. By the way,
he's been average, and average, and then poor yesterday, and not at the level that you need him playing the corner position. And it'll be interesting to see what they do. Do they give Trey Herndon some reps out there?
I mean, you can only, and this coaching staff didn't sign him. They inherited him.
Well, yeah, but the GM signed him. It's the GM's pick.
Yeah, but this coaching staff didn't. So.
Oh, I get that. I'm just saying, but there is a connection to this GM.
He really struggles at times when he's asked to cover a guy across the field. I mean, it's so evident. You can watch, like, I'll be sitting in the green room and somebody will cross the field on a crosser, and I'll go, "Oh, that's Jack Griffin," without even knowing if it was him or not, because it's obvious. And Darius Williams hasn't been great either.
Well, this is a defense that twice now gave up big drives late in games to lose the game. The Commanders, week 1, and now this one against the Colts. I mean, you get stops in those two situations, you're 4-2.
Well, also though, in the Texans drive late in that game as well, they let them go right down the field. Yep. I mean, they lost that game. I mean, it's just, you're right. This all goes down to getting the guy on the ground. Hit him, and they're not hitting him. You've watched Buffalo and Kansas City. The Bills won the game. Von Miller didn't get a sack on the last play of the game. He got 2 earlier, but he influenced the quarterback, got him out, and he threw an interception. That's what you got to get from those guys. You didn't get in that last drive. They got none of that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this is a league, Pete. You know this. Your big-time players need to make big-time plays when it counts. And that's when you needed someone to step up and make a play. And until you do that, I mean, Matt Ryan is not Matt Ryan of old. He does not have the physical traits that he once did, but he still has his mind. And if you let him dissect you, he'll find the open guys. If you're not moving them off his spot, if you're not hitting them, they can't be effective. And that's what everyone's done to them to date.
And Allen did hit him on that one play when the ball fluttered on that last drive, and that's right. even on the back end. You make a play on the ball, go get that ball. It's just Pete, little things.
Pete, you're exactly right. I mean, at some point you got to make a big play, and this team's just not doing it right now. And they need to. So you got to. I mean, people don't want to hear this, but you got to learn how to win. Now, if you step back and look at it in its entirety, this is a much better team than they were last year. This is a team that's in every game and has had a chance to either win the game late in the fourth quarter or at least tie it.
Yeah, what's the only game that hasn't been closed was the Chargers game?
No, the Colts. The first.
The Colts. That's right. The Colts and the Chargers. 2 games they won.
Pete, here's the interesting thing. The 2 games they've won, they're blowouts. When the game comes down to the fourth quarter, they have not made the play to win it.
Correct.
And so even if you just say, hey, we'll win 50% of the games that come down to the last drive, you're 4-2.
Right. Got to get off the
so
field.
This is a much better team, and I know no one wants to hear this, but they have made strides. It is not – and what are you pointing at?
JP's got that look on his face that he wants to go to break. He's flapping the
go
paper
ahead.
like he always does in your face when you're there.
Finish your thought, Tony. Finish your thought.
I see it. You know what? I'm ignoring it just like I do when I'm there, Pete.
I usually ignore the flapping paper, too.
Of course.
Get that
what am I
just
sitting
Get out of here, JP.
But, Pete, this is a much better team.
It is. But you got to win games. Hey, they're favored against a 5-1 team this week.
That's interesting.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah, well, maybe that 5-1 team isn't that good, but hey,
I haven't watched any tape.
when we come on the other side, I want to hear what you think of the third and the fourth down calls.
Okay.
Yep, we'll come back and flip it to offense. They had a pretty good day, in fact. Really good rushing attack. We'll get into all that coming up. Second hour, we've got your questions. Plenty ahead. We are just underway. And it's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hey Jags fans, Brian Sexton for Dreamfinders Homes. In a complex housing market, do decisions on the biggest purchase of your life stress you out? At Dreamfinders Homes, they can build the home of your dreams in one of their many communities in Northeast Florida. With a mortgage company in-house, they're here to assist you throughout the entire process. Choose from their wide range of single-family homes or townhomes from the 300,000s. Dreamfinders Homes specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. Call 904-590-2545 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Life's better with a financial partner like Ameris Bank. From opening your first savings account to funding your kids' college tuition, we're with you.
From a flash of a business idea to growing that company just as fast,
we're with you.
From buying a home to tackling the renovations to make it truly yours,
we're with you. You have big plans,
financial questions,
and decisions to make.
And for every idea, life goal, and new venture, we're with you all the way. Visit amerisbank.com/withyou to get started. Ameris Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's time for sunshine and summer showers, so it's more important than ever to make sure you call Crystal Clean for all your waterproofing needs. Waterproofing can extend the life of your building by keeping water outside where it belongs. And that Florida sun can beat up your business's paint job. Crystal Clean's painting services can bring your building back to life. From waterproofing to painting, schedule Crystal Clean today. Call 904-220-3337 or go to crystalclean.com. You don't have to worry when it's crystal clean.
Kessler Creative, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, has the print services you need for your business. Need large banners and signs for your next promotional event? How about custom boxes to advertise your company fleet? Find out for yourself how Kessler Creative can help you stand out from the competition with eye-catching designs that are sure to impress your customers. Kessler Creative, Jacksonville, Florida. Results-driven marketing and a proud partner of Jacksonville Jaguars.
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gate's frequent shopper clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the My Gate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too, former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
When Jaguars news breaks, you'll hear about it first on 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You never know. You have a game plan. You kind of prepare for everything. I know that's a part of my game where, honestly, haven't had to use too much this season, but that's a part of my game that I'm comfortable with, and I know that can help us if needed. So whenever my number's called, just doing what I can to help the team. And today, that was, that seemed to be something that was working, especially down there on the goal line, all those things. So guys did a great job up front.
That's Trevor Lawrence, of course, Jaguars quarterback. He was discussing his running ability yesterday. 6 carries, 23 yards, 2 rushing scores on short yardage, part of a 243-yard rushing day for the Jaguars. Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. J.P. Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. The Jaguars fell in that game, though. The defense gave up the late touchdown, but the offense, guys, had a pretty good day, I thought. Certainly on the ground. The 6th best rushing day in franchise history, Tony. And they were moving the sticks, some big plays on the ground, and then in those moments that Trevor just talked about, there were a couple plays where, got out there and got some yardage with his legs as well.
Yeah, I mean, what do you say? I mean, if you rush for 243 yards, it's a good job. I mean, good job by the guys up front. Good job by the tight ends. I thought the backs ran well, made some great cuts. I thought the play design was very good. They took advantage of the defense. They showed something they haven't showed a lot of, which is a lot of whams. They were whamming the 3 technique, and that was the first. That was what they called in the first big run by Travis Etienne in that first quarter. So I thought it was outstanding. You know, the line got a little bit of criticism because, you know, the first 10 passes were 4 sacks, but the reality of those, 2 of them were on naked bootlegs. And, you know, the Colts had decided they were going to take away the naked bootlegs. They were rushing the end straight up the field and not chasing the run on the backside. And so it basically killed the naked bootlegs.
Because on one of those, it would have been a touchdown to Ingram, but he couldn't get around that pass rusher up the field, and he had to wait late. Yeah, so they did a nice job Gus did a nice job with the bootleg stuff, taking it away for sure.
Yeah, and that's what they wanted to do. So, but overall, I mean, it was efficient passing. They didn't take any real shots down the field. I mean, that might be my only criticism. At some point, maybe try to press take some shots down the field, but when you're that efficient, you rush for that many yards, you scored 27 points, you should win the football game.
Tony, what did they did use the tackle over on the one long run. They used it again later in the game a couple times, I think. So what did you think of that?
I mean, I like it. I mean, Doug is really creative. He is he really schemes things up and puts pressure on defenses. I think he does an outstanding job as a play caller and just an overall kind of game plan design. Him and Press Taylor and Mike McCoy, they've done a nice job this year.
Yeah, that play, it was perfect because they got the block down, they got the kick out, and the guy came around him. And nobody touched him. No. I mean, it was just a great, well blocked play. Why is he in the game though? Just out of curiosity, just to spell those guys. I mean, it was a nice run. Hasty.
I mean, I think because he's got real speed. I mean, his breakaway speed. You know, him and Etienne can take it to the house. I mean, James Robinson is not a breakaway runner.
No, he's a great.
He's great between the tackles, and Hasty gives you another dimension with the explosiveness that he has. And so I like the change of pace that they bring.
Look at this, though. It's just so well blocked. I mean, when you watch it on the tape from the end zone camera, it's just perfectly blocked. Everybody did their job exactly the way it was supposed to be done.
He wouldn't have been down in flag football.
No,
he was never touched.
No, it was well blocked. One thing I noticed on the tape, and you probably notice better than me, the backside guys don't always hold get to their guys and hold their backside blocks long enough. Otherwise, there might even be more long runs. You notice that too?
Yeah,
last couple of weeks,
I do.
3 weeks.
I think we can do a better job of finishing blocks on the backside. I think it's a mentality. Sometimes when you're away from it, you can't think that, okay, let me just cut my guy off and stop. I mean, you have to have that mentality to finish, whether you're backside or front side. And I think a couple times, if you're really being critical and you want to, there's opportunities when that ball comes back to you, if you're staying on your man, to spring for a big play. No doubt about it.
The kid they signed from Green Bay had a nice start to his Jaguars career on his one.
Yeah,
oh my God!
Wow.
Woo!
Yeah, so Brandon Sheriff went off with a helmet issue apparently, and Cole Van Lanen came in.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
I mean, he just got whipped right off the bat.
He went backwards pretty quickly.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I thought Cam Robinson struggled a little bit too in protection at times. If you go watch it,
he got beat on the one inside for the sack.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that stood out to me live, Pete. But yeah, I didn't watch the tape, so you'd have a better sense than I on that.
Hey, Pete,
I mean, the line played. I mean, you rushed for 260 yards. Your line played well. You can't. And you're right. 2 of the sacks were on the boots, and then he got beat on that one, and there was one inside. Oh, that one from.
Those are the 2.
Yeah. So they played well. They played well. Okay, let's talk about you. We both agree Doug Peterson is an outstanding play caller. He's got a great plan. I didn't like the 3rd and 1 call. I didn't like, and okay, he's wide open. I get it, but if you're going to go for it on 4th, can't you run the ball on 3rd down? You've been pounding the daylights out of them. And if they ran to the left side, we showed it before. There's nobody over there. Run to the left.
A minute 19 left in the 3rd quarter.
Now he's got to hit this. Don't get me wrong. He's got to hit this.
Yeah, here's my Pete. I would have run it twice. Yeah,
me too.
However, it's hard for me to be critical on 3rd and 1 when he has a guy that wide open.
True.
Yeah, hit the throw.
I mean, Pete. I mean, if it's a average throw, it's an easy first down.
I get it. I get it.
By the way, if it's a great throw, Kirk makes that guy miss. He might go score.
Yeah, yeah, right. He puts his foot in the ground and turns upfield and he goes. Yeah, it's a bad throw by Trevor. I get it, but I think
Terrible
the way
throw.
In any game, if you're not running the ball, I get that. But the way they were beating the daylights out of him up front, I think I run it twice to get my first down and go from there. And I wouldn't have run this damn play. That's for sure.
No, I did not like the option. Now, Sheriff gets pushed back, so he forces Trevor to have to go wider. If Sheriff gets movement, he can get downhill. It might be different. I did not love the play.
No, I didn't like it. I didn't.
But third down,
play, he's got to hit this.
Pete, I can't be critical of that play call. The guy's wide open. Right. It's an easy throw.
Here's the option play there. See, Sheriff gets dominated down the line. Yeah.
And that's what happened. I mean, so I still don't like it. Regardless, I'm with you, Pete, there.
But it should have never come to 4th down.
It never should have come to 4th down. Make it an easy throw. That's an easy throw.
Well, that wasn't. Was it really 4th and 1, or was it about could they have sneaked it right there and got like they did the next time?
It was 4th and a full yard.
It was okay. All right, but sneak it twice and you get it.
Yes, you do.
The way you push these guys nowadays, you can't stop that. You cannot stop a quarterback sneak now. It's impossible.
It's hard. It's really hard. So I would have called the run on 3rd down, Pete. However, I'm not critical of the 3rd down call. It was executed. It was wide open.
Yeah, players got to make plays.
That's right.
If you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, then look no further than Ford F-150, loaded with impressive capability and designed to dominate work, play, and everything in between. This truck makes tough look easy. Your local Ford dealer, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Plenty ahead. We'll come back with a look around the AFC South. A couple of teams had byes yesterday. Well, the other two, because the two that played each other. The Jaguars were one of those. Second hour coming up. We'll have your social media questions and a look around the NFL. It's Jaguars Happy Hour, presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hey Jags fans, Brian Sexton for Dreamfinders Homes. In a complex housing market, do decisions on the biggest purchase of your life stress you out? At Dreamfinders Homes, they can build the home of your dreams in one of their many communities in Northeast Florida. With a mortgage company in-house, they're here to assist you throughout the entire process. Choose from their wide range of single-family homes or townhomes from the 300,000s. Dreamfinders Homes specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. Call 904-590-2545 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Hold on. You want me to tell them about Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea in just 30 seconds? This is impossible. Hey, I'm Billy from Twisted Tea. How can I explain that first sip of cold, smooth, real brewed tea? So good! And the extra kick you get from just the right amount of alcohol? The twist of lemon, Wait, what? We're almost out of time? Oh, shit. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for the bright yellow cans wherever you buy beer.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Struggling with high energy bills? Now is the time to replace your old windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen. Right now, get $300 off every window and $825 off all patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Visit rbafla.com for details. Offer expires September 30th. Restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, the official window and door replacement company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CGC 1527613.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, ensuring those who serve.
The Land Rover Defender story began with the simple thought of creating an exceptionally capable off-road vehicle, becoming the go-anywhere, do-anything all-terrain machine. Today, there's a new Land Rover Defender, the toughest and most advanced Land Rover vehicle ever. From the beginning, Land Rover knew the new Defender was capable of great things. Motor Trend's 2021 SUV of the Year is just the latest example. Test drive the new Land Rover Defender today at Land Rover Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard, or go to LandRoverJacksonville.com. Land Rover, above and beyond.
Jacksonville Sports Talk for Jacksonville sports fans. 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. J.P. Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli, and a live look at the Miller Electric Center just outside TIAA Bank Field. If you're watching on Jaguars.com, Jaguars social media channels, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Construction continues. The initial frame of the indoor facility is getting close to being completed, and the building continues to grow, and it should be ready for business summer of next year. Of course, the Shipyard's property is on track. Nothing really to see there yet, but it's coming very soon. So a lot going on around the stadium, which is great news. And
it is great news.
Great news.
Liven that place up. Let's get some restaurants and stuff and things happening down there.
And Pete, where is your residence going to be in the Four Seasons? Do you know which floor you're on?
Sean hasn't told me if he's going to give me the penthouse yet, or if he's just going to, it's since he look. Boselli's going to get me the penthouse. He said that he's going to hook me up with the penthouse. He knows so many people in Jacksonville.
Well, I mean, yeah, Tony has connections now, so that might have been part of
his.
All over.
Pete, let me just tell you something. If the penthouse is available and I have access to it, I am not giving it to you. I'm keeping it for myself.
They're probably going to have judging by what's been going on in the last year, they're probably going to have a Tony Boselli suite in that hotel somewhere. Yeah.
For the right price, I'll lend my name.
You would lend your name for no price.
It's already in the new contract.
What about not the fact that they might honor him with the Tony Boselli ballroom? If for the right price, I might let him use my name.
It comes with an all-you-can-eat buffet. Oddly enough, funny how that works.
Did anybody go to St. Elmo's in Indy?
I did twice.
Last night too.
Yeah.
And Saturday night was the big meal with the fellas.
Sponsor dinner. Yep.
Yeah. And you had the big steak and the hot shrimp and everything else, right?
Yeah, I'm not very healthy right now, Pete. We gotta make some lifestyle changes.
He's
here.
on the Pete. He's on
by the last couple of road trips, the steak you've eaten. I mean, my God.
Pete, he's on the banquet circuit. That's what happens when you get in the Hall of Fame, man. You gotta eat.
It's not good. It's not.
But
good.
You could get a chicken dish, but you're not going to do that at St. Elmo's.
No. It doesn't sound right. I think that's could be some sort of sin if you did that.
I always just go when I go to St. Elmo's because I'm not a big steak eater. I always go just get shrimp cocktail and eat a bunch of them. All that cocktail.
You don't like steak?
I do. I just don't like eating it that much. I mean, I'll eat it once in a while. It just doesn't agree with me.
The AFC South, let's take a look at the standings. It's a little too much information.
It's in your stomach for an hour and a half.
What are you doing?
Or days. Or 3 days. Boselli's got steak from Saturday night still in there.
Let's get to the...
There's no doubt. It's not good.
Let's move on. We're moving on.
You're in a room by yourself when that happens.
That's the AFC South. Tennessee at 3-2 leads the way. Indy 3-2-1. Jacksonville 2-4. Houston 1-3-1. The Titans and the Texans were off. They had a bye this weekend. And there you have it. So no change in the division standings, though the Jaguars could have jumped ahead into second place with a win. They did not, in fact, get that done. So,
by the way, the big news in the AFC South today is former Jaguars executive Jack Easterby got fired by the Texans.
Yeah, Pete, did you see?
Nobody remember? No, nobody knew him in that building.
No, but did you see John McClain's comments on Twitter?
Yeah.
John,
he was like
the longtime writer for the Chronicle, and yeah. So what was he saying, Tony?
Oh,
he was basically celebrating. He said it was the best sports move like the last 100 years. So I don't want to miss. Basically, he was from his tweets, he seemed very happy that the move was made.
And I think a lot of people in that organization were happy. But the joke about the Jaguars, remember his resume had that he was an executive with the Jaguars at one point. I think he was like a coffee boy somewhere.
I never knew the guy.
I never knew the guy. No. And
we had folks who've been around here for a while that didn't remember him being here either.
And here's a weird addendum to the whole thing. Ready? I think Brady Quinn has mentioned this to me before. I think Jack Easterby married Brady Quinn.
What?
I think he married him.
Why?
He was a chaplain. He was a team chaplain for the Chiefs or something. I think
he officiated the wedding. Okay, that's different than what you just said. Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. He officiated his wedding, but I mean, that guy's story. He was a life coach, a chaplain, this coach or that coach. Give me a break.
Well, he's not in the NFL any longer.
No, and his team is last in our power rankings. So who's first in the power rankings?
Yeah, what do you like?
Titans,
Colts, Jacksonville, Texans.
Just like the standings.
I could argue though that the Jaguars are ahead of the Colts like in power rankings because they beat them 24-0 at home and barely lost to them on the road.
Yeah, okay. Just compare the two records.
But they have the better record. That's why I'm saying if you were but sometimes the power rankings, teams with worse records are
you're probably, if you really looked at the better team lost that game yesterday.
That's my point.
But it's hard to put them ahead of them.
That's fair.
If they play 10 times, how many times would Jacksonville win? On
7.
a neutral, yeah, on a neutral field, 8,
7 or 8.
Yeah, they're the better. They're a better team. But like you said, you got to learn how to win. They got veteran players on that team that know how to. They've won games before. They never won anything in the postseason, but they won games with Matt Ryan has.
Yep. So I mean, Pete, you and I talked at the beginning of the season. You had them winning 6-8. I had them winning 7-9. We both felt like this was a year where Doug Peterson fixed the culture, got things right, got Trevor going, and then next year with a good draft, good free agency, like you're ready to contend to go win the division and do something in the playoffs. I'm only bringing that up. I think all of us got a little overly excited after the 2 wins.
Well, some of us more than others, including yourself.
I'm not. You moved your needle too.
Yeah,
I moved them up in the power rankings. I did.
Yep.
And so I think everyone got a little excited. If I go back to where I was sitting at the beginning of the year, I think they're right on track.
I would say they're right on track. 2 things, though, that I thought would happen haven't happened. 1, pass rush.
Pass rush. Yep.
2, Trevor hitting shots down the field at a consistent basis. It hasn't happened. I thought he would be better at that. And you, like you said yesterday, I didn't even try. What was he? 21 of 23.
20 of 22.
Yeah, I mean, but he threw for 165 yards. That shouldn't happen.
That's it.
When you're running the ball that well, you should open up shots down the field.
They didn't take any.
No.
I mean, the longest pass was the deep out or corner. It was really deep out to Zay Jones, 18 yards.
Yeah, that's right. Because the other ones that were long passes was short right to ETN. He turns it up for 22. Short left to Tim Jones for 20 yards, but that was a short pass. Yeah. And then you're right, Tony, 18 yards, Zay Jones.
But those are the 2 things that I thought, whether they won 6, 8 games, 9 games, or whatever, 2 things I thought would happen this year would be Trevor throwing like down the field, hitting shots down the field, and starting to look more like Justin Herbert, which he hasn't, and the pass rush, which you figure they get another guy opposite Josh Allen that's going to open the whole thing up for both of them, and it hasn't happened.
You got to win one-on-one, Pete. They're not winning one-on-one.
I know.
Hey,
Against bad tackles. That's concerning.
All right, real quick before break. Giants this week, yes or no? Win or loss?
I haven't watched the tape. It's hard
I
for
think
me
they
to
win.
say.
I think they win the game.
Okay.
But I can tell you this right now: that isn't going to be easy. And that defense, Wink Martindale will throw everything at them. He's creative. You know that. You've seen him in Baltimore. He's the same way. By the way, there is a pass rusher starting to flash some edge moves and some explosive ability a little bit that plays for the New York Giants. Mr. Thibodeau.
Who's that?
Kayvon
really?
Thibodeau had a first sack yesterday, sack fumble, forced the game-winning, ball out. He's starting to show up, and you remember he missed the first three games of the year because he was hurt.
There you go. That's next week. We're gonna get Tony to watch the tape, and then we'll get his thoughts on it. Hey, we're coming back. Second hour of Jaguars Happy Hour right around the corner. We'll get to your social media questions. We'll keep it real and go around the National Football League as well. 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hey Jags fans, Brian Sexton for Dreamfinders Homes. In a complex housing market, do decisions on the biggest purchase of your life stress you out? At Dreamfinders Homes, they can build the home of your dreams in one of their many communities in Northeast Florida. With a mortgage company in-house, they're here to assist you throughout the entire process. Choose from their wide range of single-family homes or townhomes from the 300,000s. Dreamfinders Homes specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. Call 904-590-2545 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Your pet means the world to you, so Pet Paradise created a slice of paradise just for them. Pet Paradise is your complete pet health care destination with resort-style day camp, overnight boarding, professional grooming, and compassionate veterinary care from New Day, all located under one roof. Pet Paradise has over 50 locations to serve pet fanatics like you nationwide. Book today at petparadise.com, the official pet care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, it's Marissa Garnhart, girlfriend of Jacksonville Jaguars running back James Robinson. Enter now for your chance to win behind-the-scenes access, game tickets, and more. Look for details at Publix where you can pick up all your game day needs, including Bounty, Tide, Pantene, and Crest. Tackle everything in one stop. Available at Publix where shopping is a pleasure.
It's football season, and time to take your game to the next level with a Ford F-150 truck. Light up your tailgate with an available Pro Power onboard generator. And with an available 3.5-liter EcoBoost engine, you can tow just about anything you need to rule the stadium lot. Ford F-150, part of the F-Series lineup that have been the best-selling pickups for 45 straight years. Get to your local Ford store today. Proud sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm still confident in this group. Coaches, players, listen, it's when you put the tape on, it's about us. It's about what we do, and sometimes it's about what we don't do. And we've got a group of guys that want to get it fixed, and that's the encouraging part. And we just take them 1 week at a time, and some people want them sooner than later, and there's some patience involved, but everybody needs to know the importance of every play, every snap, every series, practice, games, the whole thing. That's just the nature of what we do.
That's Doug Peterson today, the day after a Jaguars loss in Indianapolis. Welcome back. It's the second hour of Jaguars Happy Hour. J.P. Shadrick, Pete Prisco, and Tony Boselli coming up in just a moment. The Jaguars dropping their third straight with a 34-27 loss to the Colts, falling to 2-4 on the season, 1-2 in the division. The Jags built a 14-3 lead early in the second quarter, but the Colts kept chipping away all game. The Jags offense ran for 243 yards, the sixth best rushing day in Jaguars history. Trevor Lawrence was efficient, 20 of 22 passing, a touchdown through the air and two more on the ground, and he led an 18-play, 10-minute touchdown drive in the fourth quarter. And that gave the Jags the lead with 2:44 to play, but the Jags defense throughout the day struggled to slow down the short passing from Matt Ryan, and the 15th-year quarterback set a career high with 43 completions on 58 attempts, and he had the 10th best yardage day in his career, 389 through the air. But the longest throw of the day from Ryan came on a 3rd and 13 from the Jags' 32-yard line in the final seconds. It ended with a touchdown to Alec Pierce to give the Colts the lead. 17 seconds to play. The Colts took the lead for good. It was the third lead change of the fourth quarter. Up next, the Jaguars will try to get back on track at home, back at the bank this Sunday to face the red-hot New York Giants at 5-1, led by Saquon Barkley. I think that about covers it. Pete, Tony, here we are. Week 7 coming up.
Can you believe it? The season's going so fast. It's a third of the way over. You believe that?
How about that?
Well, football season always goes fast. I always tell my wife, as soon as training camp starts, I'm like, all right, get ready for Christmas. Like, right. It's here.
right. I used to always say, thank God actual life doesn't go as fast as the football season.
Yeah, right.
Right. But Pete, this is the problem with what we do. It is like half the year's over before I know it.
I know. And you start thinking, well, it's going to be Happy New Year.
Right? Yeah, I mean, it's like, here we go. It's 2023. Like, what? What happened? I thought we just got done with 2022.
It's amazing how fast it goes. It really is. But
well, so because it's week to week, and you just you get in that routine, and next thing you know, it's like, okay. For me, it's okay. Get ready. A lot of Thursdays. Get ready for Thursday night. Get home. Sunday, Monday show. Okay, start all over again. Here we go.
Do you have Thursday this week?
Not this Thursday. Nope. Thankfully.
That's
where are they?
Arizona.
Yeah, it's Arizona. Yeah, no.
Jaguars offense, the bright spot yesterday. Trevor efficient. They ran the ball. They ran the daylights out of it most of the day. 243 yards. That's a good step, at least for that group. But, it's a full team game. The defense didn't hold up their end of the bargain yesterday and couldn't hold that lead with 2:43 to go.
What was Doug talking about when he said that just before? Was he's talking about guys aren't playing every play? Is that what he was hinting at?
No, I think what he is saying is guys have to understand, and I think this goes to the point of learning how to win, Pete. Like every play matters. Like every rep matters. Like you can't take a breath. And I mean, I remember as a young player, I remember Tom used to say, he's like, hey, most games are decided by 5, 6, 7 plays. And you always think about it, like, what are you talking about? And what that means is at some point, somebody's got to make the big play to change the game or to end the game or to, whatever. And I mean, you go back sometimes, and I agree with Doug, it's sometimes just what we do to ourselves. I go back to what we said earlier in the last hour. 3 or 4 of those scoring drives by the Colts, the Jaguars were off the field. And a big penalty on 3rd and long, kept the drive going. And so if you just take
I agree with you.
Take away 1 or 2 of those, the game's different.
The focus. Did you think the last one was an interference on Griffin?
The last one. I'm trying
The
to
one
think
down on
which,
the, I think it was the one on the side, down by the, put him down to like the 5 or whatever. Wasn't that the second one?
Yeah, I thought it was close. I thought
It kind of was stumbling a little bit, and he fell into him, and it was
Yeah, I thought it could go either way.
right. That gave a first and goal, right? Down in the red.
Yes.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not a good day for Shaq Griffin. And I'm getting a lot of feeling from people that they want to see a change there. Just listening to stuff today on the air. And
oh, you're talking about people outside the building. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's clarify.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, are they upgrading if they play Trey Herndon?
Trey
he played well when he played. He played well when he played that game.
And he is tough. He just can't. I mean, he's not the fastest dude out there, but he's a tough, physical guy. So, I mean, I don't think you bench Shaq yet, but I think he's on a short leash.
I give Shaq credit because he came out and he said I played like crap. I mean, basically he came out and said it. But where would that be in terms of upsetting the locker room? Do guys look to Shaq Griffin or not?
That's a good question. I'm unclear who the leader. I think Josh Allen's the leader of that defense, and I think Rayshon Jenkins is kind of on the back half the guy. That's my sense of it. But JP, maybe you have a better read. You're in the locker room a lot more than I am.
Well, I can say that Shaq and Rayshon sit right across from each other in the locker room, and the rest of the young defensive backs are kind of nearby in that little corner right there in one side. Josh and the defensive linemen are on the other end of the locker room altogether. So, I mean, we're in there for 45 minutes. It's not like we're going to get a true read on how they're interacting. But
Tony knows what I'm saying is like there are guys that, for example, and I'm going to go back in day. Andre Rison was no leader whatsoever, zero. But remember, there was a group that followed him around in that locker room who thought he was like king. And when he got cut, that was a big issue that day. It didn't impact the team at some point, but it was, because he wasn't really a leader. But if the guy's a true leader and he gets cut, and not cut, but benched, then you could see some kind of friction in there as well. So,
well, it depends how the guy handles it. If let's just say in this case, if they ended up going with Trey Herndon and Shaq becomes a problem, which I don't think. I mean, but if he's a real leader, he goes. I mean, a lot of it depends how he handles it too.
Hey, if I'm not starting, I'm departing. Did you see Robbie Anderson yesterday? If I'm not starting, I'm departing. He departed all right. They traded him to Arizona today.
That didn't take long.
That didn't take long.
No, but I mean, like I get it. But I'm just saying, if is, and I don't know that either. But if he was a leader in that locker room and he's benched, or you would know this better than me, Tony. Guys really know that maybe he should be benched, and they just let's move on. We'll get another guy in there.
I think at the end of the day, guys want to win. I mean, that's what I think. And I'm not saying they should bench him. I mean, I don't know how Trey Herndon's been playing or not. But the bottom line is they are it was a tough day yesterday. And giving up 34 points to that team is just – without their two best backs, you give them 34.
I mean, like back in the day, you had a center who thought he was a leader on your team. And he eventually got benched, and he got benched for a better player. And everybody knew it.
And we just got played, Pete.
And we saw your player. We saw that player at your Hall of Fame ceremony. He looks like he can play defensive back now, Michael Cheever.
Yeah, he's a little dude now, isn't he?
It's amazing. That kid was, by the way, let me just say for Jaguars historians out there, Michael Cheever would have been one hell of a center in his career.
He had the bad back, couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, perceived leaders and real leaders are different. The guys who perceive themselves, because I think if Shaq's a real leader and he gets benched, initially that could be a problem. But if he's not, then I don't think it's an issue.
But I don't think it's a problem. I mean, at the end of the day, your play has to merit your performance has to merit your playing time.
I agree. Would you bench him?
Pete, that's a tough one to say because I'm not in practice watching Trey Herndon, and so.
But you saw the game against the Chargers. Trey Herndon played pretty good.
Yeah, here's my sense of it. I'm going to go play the best guy, regardless of what their salary is.
I'm with
you.
you.
If Trey Herndon is going to give you more solid play out there, because right now Shaq's struggling a little bit, then I go with Trey. And it's not. I mean, and Shaq knows this. He's been around. It has nothing
JP's
to do
got
with.
the pen.
Oh no,
going
I was
going to
ask. I mean, can Shaq fix it though? Can he turn it around?
He doesn't run. Shaq, well, you talk about Herndon doesn't run. Shaq doesn't run either. Hey, here's the other one. How about this possibility? Darius Williams played outside most of his years with the Rams. Play him outside because I don't think he's playing great as a nickel, and put Herndon back inside as the nickel.
And Herndon can play nickel because he's pretty good inside. He's physical. Maybe you do that.
I would do. I would consider that. I mean, before I'd put Trey Herndon outside and Darius Williams keep him, because I think it'd make you stronger at both spots. Darius Williams was pretty good when he played outside. I don't think he's a great nickel corner where Herndon would be better inside. So maybe you upgrade yourself in two spots.
Well, they got to upgrade their entire coverage package after last week because, like you said, they struggled at linebacker in coverage. They struggled outside in coverage. They struggled a lot of places yesterday.
The depth of the linebackers. I mean, every time they dropped deep, they just threw it right underneath them every single time. It was like an easy pitch and catch. It was easy.
And then with no pass rush, it's really easy.
Right.
Right. Hey, and that leads us to when we come back, we're going to keep it real and discuss that pass rush or lack thereof for the Jaguars defense. Pete says lack thereof.
Yeah, wow.
That's what it is. Back in a moment. And, of course, your social media questions coming up shortly. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hey, Jags fans. Brian Sexton for Dreamfinders Homes. In a complex housing market, do decisions on the biggest purchase of your life stress you out? At Dreamfinders Homes, they can build the home of your dreams in one of their many communities in Northeast Florida. With a mortgage company in-house, they're here to assist you throughout the entire process. Choose from their wide range of single-family homes or townhomes from the 300,000s. Dreamfinders Homes specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. Call 904-590-2545 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Thinking about your favorite whiskey or whiskey-based cocktail for this weekend's party or tailgate? Us too. While you're out shopping for supplies, don't forget to pick up a bottle of the 2022 Jaguars whiskey available at most local Jacksonville liquor stores. Not leaving the couch this weekend? No problem. You can also order a bottle online at citrusdistillersonline.com. Every bottle is made locally here in Duval.
Hey, it's Marissa Garnhart, girlfriend of Jacksonville Jaguars running back James Robinson. The team always has a game day plan, and so do I. Publix helps us tackle everything from pre-game prep to post-game cleanup, with prices that are never out of bounds.
This week at Publix, spend $45 on Tide, Bounce, and Downy, and score a $15 rebate. Or spend $30 on Gain and score a $10 rebate. Visit pglaundryrebate.com for details.
At 5-Star Credit Union, you inspire them to go the extra mile to meet your financial needs. That's why they offer Jaguars fans more banking options like better rates and no hidden fees. Their team is also dedicated to making the communities they serve stronger, volunteering their time and talents while donating millions to local nonprofits. 5-Star Credit Union, 5starcu.org. Go Jags!
Reconnect with the best version of you at Amara Med Spa, Northeast Florida's premier luxury medical spa, located in Ponte Vedra, Town Center, Avondale, St. Augustine, and Fernandina. With the most advanced injectors, estheticians, and technology, Amara Med Spa is redefining beauty, offering services such as Botox and filler, M-Sculpt Neo, painless laser hair removal, and advanced skincare treatments. Visit theamaramedspa.com and book a complimentary consultation today.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at TIAA Bank Field because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Bono's is currently expanding its brand with franchise opportunities throughout the Southeast and beyond. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit barbecue and owning your own business are a great combo. Go to bonosbarbq.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
The station that the Jaguars listen to, 1010XL. Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Those are the games we feel like we could have won every game that we've been in this year, and that's the NFL though. So there's a lot of teams that can say that, and at the end of the day, it just matters if you win or lose. So just continuing to find ways to go and finish and to win these games, and it's obviously there's going to be a lot to learn from today. There was some interesting situations that I think everywhere players like we can handle better. Just there's some tough situations, and at the end of the day, I think we did take a big step offensively. That was a 20-play drive at the end. Just the confidence that was in that huddle. I mean, it was cool to see, and just wouldn't want to be beside anybody else in there. So I'm just proud of those guys, and then defensively too, they made some big plays, and it's just on all of us to find ways to execute better.
That's the quarterback, of course, Trevor Lawrence, and welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour, and Jaguars Game Day Radio is brought to you by ViStar Credit Union. Do good, bank better. J.P. Shadrick with Pete Prisco and Tony Boselli, and it's time now for Keeping It Real, presented by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi. Open up a winner today. Real Ingredients, award-winning wine by Robert Mondavi. The Jaguars defense had 6 quarterback hits on Matt Ryan yesterday, but 0 sacks on the 15-year veteran. Tied going into the game, the Colts were tied for the most sacks given up in the NFL. Pete, last week you said if they didn't get pressure on him, it was a red flag. Well, is it an issue for this team, or was it just schemed well by the Colts yesterday?
No, it's an issue for this. It's an issue for this team. They have to be better rushing the passer. Have to be. And I'm not just talking about pressures, because you hear that they're doing well in terms of number of pressures. You got to get the guy on the ground. You got to hit him. You have to influence him. Now, don't get me wrong. Matt Ryan and the Colts did a great job getting the ball out, but there were a lot of crossers that took a long time to get open, and they still didn't get any pressure on them. So it's an issue. Again, I go back to Tony's been preaching it all season long. Trayvon Walker needs to use his hands, needs to develop some pass rush moves, needs to be able to do other things than just lunge and power into a guy. And Josh Allen, who had been off to a pretty good start, has cooled a little bit. He needs to get back to playing where he was playing early in the season as well. I mean, they have to be better rushing the passer, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we didn't see the push inside like we did the first game either. That first game, now they had no Fatakasi. That hurts them because he's a good pass rusher as far as push and bull, getting internal pressure. Roy Robertson Harris kicked the crap out of Quentin Nelson the first game. Yep. That wasn't quite as evident. The guy I'm surprised about because he was so good in the preseason. Remember Arden Key rushing that 3 technique was really dynamic, and he hasn't been getting much going, which I'm a little bit surprised by because I thought he'd have a bigger impact. Trayvon Walker doesn't surprise me. I thought it would be a slow progress for him to learn the rush the passer. I was surprised now, again, not watching the tape, that Josh Allen did not have a better game last week.
It wasn't awful.
He's a good football player, but he's not making those big impactful plays in rushing situations.
Right. That's a game where you go into the game if you're Josh Allen and you're playing mostly against Dennis Kelly, right? And you should go in and say, I'm going to get me a couple in this game. I'm going to get a couple sacks.
I'm going to get a couple sacks and I'm going to hit the quarterback about 10 times. I'm going to take over the game.
It didn't happen.
And he didn't do that. And he has the capability. So, it's one of those things. Josh is playing good football, but we need him to be a great dominant player. And he's not at that level right now.
And Trayvon Walker's playing good football in fundamentally and playing the run and playing tough and hitting people and stuff. They dropped into coverage a couple times again yesterday. I mean, that those are always interesting. But he needs, you've said it time and again, he just rushes right into the center of the chest of the tackle. I mean, I watched the tape, and it's in the back of my mind because you say it all the time. Every single rush is smack dab into the center chest of the tackle.
But Pete, we knew that coming out of college, he was not a great pass rusher.
Okay, after 6.5 weeks,
No, I agree with you. I was hoping we'd have better progress at this point, but I was never counting on him being a dominant pass rusher.
Okay, when I evaluated the pass rushers coming out, I thought Thibodeau was the best pass rusher of all of them. Pure pass rusher. Now you get to see him. Now the book on Thibodeau was questions about whether he loved it or was he, fully in football and everything else. It seems like he is now, but you'll get a first-hand look at Thibodeau against Trayvon Walker on Sunday.
But you have to impact the quarterback. And Pete said it earlier. You don't have to get them on the ground every time, but you have to get guys moving their feet, moving out of the pocket, trying to make plays on the run. And too often, Matt Ryan was way too comfortable in that pocket. I mean, he was just hanging
No picks.
out.
There was nothing that was even close to a pick, was there?
No.
No. One hit Shaq Griffin in the hands over the middle. Remember that?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
he should have picked that too.
Yep.
That was the one where there was about 8 guys in the middle, and he panicked and threw it into the middle.
That's right.
When was that? Was that in the fourth quarter?
I can't
Yes.
remember. Yeah.
Yes, it was.
But that wasn't on the last drive, was it?
No, it was in they're going the other way. It was in the third quarter. Third quarter, middle of the field, receiver in the middle. There's about 3 Jaguar players about.
I remember it.
I think it was in third. It was in the third quarter.
I can't remember when it was. Yeah.
Hey, what are their sack numbers, JP? Give me the sack leaders on the team right now and their totals.
Yeah, I can do that. Stand by just a moment. Let me get to it. There's not going to be.
Josh Allen has 3.
Stand by. Hang on. I'm getting there.
And
we're on the fly
that's not
here.
good enough.
All right, the Jaguars sack leaders. We're going to go from the top, and Josh Allen has 3 to lead the way.
Okay, multiply that out over the course of the season. You're getting 8.
7, 8.
Yeah.
Adam
good enough.
Gotsis and DeJuan Smoot have a sack and a half. And then Oluokun, Walker, Roy Robertson Harris, and Arden Key each have 1. That's it.
I'm sorry, but your first overall pick should have more than 1 in 6 games. He should fall into 2. He's got more roughing the passer penalties than he does sacks.
Well, one of them was
from him
unnecessary roughness, to be honest. Okay, so one was unnecessary roughness, one's roughing.
Okay, same thing. But I'm not pounding it because I think the kid's a good football player. But
right, what we're saying is, where's the glaring issue? There's 2 glaring issues right now on defense: lack of a pass rush, especially with just 4,
and Shaq Griffin
and Shaq Griffin at the corner. Those are issues.
Didn't Trayvon Walker have a little something to say before the game too? Wasn't there a little?
Yeah, that Matt Ryan was a sitting duck.
Yeah, well, then that means he can't sack any quarterback because he didn't hit the sitting duck either. I mean, if you're gonna talk the talk, you better walk the walk, son. That's a lesson you're gonna learn in this league quickly.
And I want to be clear about Shaq Griffin. I mean, he took it all on himself yesterday.
He did.
I mean, he was. I mean, he's a stand-up dude. I really like.
He's a pro's pro. He's a pro's pro, but doesn't mean he necessarily should be in the starting lineup, though.
I still think he can be a good player.
Give him. This is a kind of game, the Giants game. You'll get him back into the flow. They don't really drive the ball down the field. You get him back into the flow. He's fine. Then you go play. Who's after the Giants? What's on the schedule? Is there another?
Broncos.
They don't throw the ball either. Then
it's Las Vegas.
That could be a problem.
Then it's Kansas City.
That could be a real problem. Oh, that's the game they're flexing. The
prime time. Al and
Tony, you still
Tirico.
think that game's getting flexed to Sunday night?
Pete, I'm just hoping we're like 4-5 or 5-4 by then.
So you got your wait. If they're 5-4, you got them sweeping it out the rest of the way. Giants.
I said I hope.
Okay, so let's play it out. Giants this week. I think they'll win that game. I do. Then who's after that?
Then the Broncos in London.
In London, they'll win that game, and then it's
home against the Raiders. Home.
Raiders.
That's good.
It's an early body clock game for the Raiders, though. It's a 1:00 Eastern.
You know what, though? You can't sit here with this team and guarantee anything anymore.
Nope. Cannot.
Let me tell you what, I'm putting away the locks for a while. The locks are not coming out for a while, Pete.
Did you lock Sunday's game?
No.
No, neither one of us did. I thought they'd win, though. I'll be honest with you. I thought they would win that game.
I had a bad feeling.
You did? When it was 21-13, did you have a bad feeling?
No, I was hoping they'd win. Like, someone asked me right before the game, what do you think? I said, I think we'll win, but I'm not overly confident.
But at one point in that game, it looked like they were going to run away with it, too.
Yeah.
Oh, 14-3. I'm like, let's rock and roll. Let's get this thing going.
If they got another one there, it could have been, you never know. There you have it. That's Keeping It Real, presented by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi. Open up a winner today. Real Ingredients award-winning wine by Robert Mondavi. Still waiting on that case, by the way.
Yeah, it hadn't showed up yet.
Tony?
Nope.
No one
I haven't got mine.
You know, Boselli, they mailed them all to his place, and he kept them.
He gets a gold jacket. He gets all the wine, too. Great.
He gets everything.
You'll never know. You'll never know.
I once saw a bottle of wine with Boselli's name on it.
I did, too. I saw it in about August. Yeah.
He can't even say anything.
Yeah.
He just nods.
Well, some are saying there's never mind. I'll stop.
Let's come back in a moment. The Fanatics fan questions. Plenty of those coming in today on Twitter after Jaguars' loss in Week 6 to the Indianapolis Colts. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hey Jags fans, Brian Sexton for Dreamfinders Homes. In a complex housing market, do decisions on the biggest purchase of your life stress you out? At Dreamfinders Homes, they can build the home of your dreams in one of their many communities in Northeast Florida. With a mortgage company in-house, they're here to assist you throughout the entire process. Choose from their wide range of single-family homes or townhomes from the 300,000s. Dreamfinders Homes specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. Call 904-590-2545 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too. Former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com. The world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and Jaguars players you love. Shop the most trusted brands, exclusive designs by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars. Join Fanatics Rewards today and earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
It's time for sunshine and summer showers, so it's more important than ever to make sure you call Crystal Clean for all your waterproofing needs. Waterproofing can extend the life of your building by keeping water outside where it belongs. And that Florida sun can beat up your business's paint job. Crystal Clean's painting services can bring your building back to life. From waterproofing to painting, schedule Crystal Clean today. Call 904-220-3337 or go to crystalclean.com. You don't have to worry when it's crystal clean.
Hey, it's Marissa Garnhart, girlfriend of Jacksonville Jaguars running back James Robinson. The team always has a game day plan, and so do I.
This week at Publix, save $10 instantly when you spend $40 on the P&G products that help you tackle everything from pregame prep to postgame cleanup, including Crest, Old Spice, Bounty, and Tide. Clip your digital coupon now at Publix.com.
Available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. Jaguars Today. All Jaguars, all NFL, all the time. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
You know, in that situation, they were already in field goal range, you know, for that kicker. And, you know, it's just an opportunity there for them to, you know, whether they obviously complete it for the score or they get the DPI, you know, whatever it might be. It's the risk reward there kind of favors offense, you know, in situations like that. Because, you know, that with the time and on fourth down, they have the opportunity to kick the field goal. So kind of expect it in those situations and, you know, just credit them. They made the play.
That's Doug Peterson after the game on the final touchdown for the Colts. 17 seconds to play. They took the lead for good. Welcome back. Jaguars Happy Hour. J.P. Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. And time now for the Fanatics fan questions. Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com. Shop today and rep your Jags gear on game day and every day. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything. We put out the cat signal. Thanks for the retweet, Tony, on Twitter today. And here's the best we've come up with. Number one from Bigga Figa 904. Congrats, Tony, on the Hall of Fame. You're the GOAT. Fred Taylor is next. JP, you're the best host on earth. And Prisco, stay spicy, my friend. Do y'all think we should switch Griffin with someone else? Maybe shake up the depth chart. # Duval. All the niceties will get you on the air. Yes.
That is the nicest fan question we've ever gotten. Usually, they're nice to one of us or maybe two of us and rip the third. But this individual is actually nice to all three. So hats off to Bigga Figa.
Yeah.
904.
Nice. Thanks. Spicy. I like spicy.
It's accurate, too. Yeah. What it is.
Well, I mean, the part about you being the best host of all time, he's a little misguided.
Oh, my gosh. Wow, Pete. Okay.
I'm kidding.
Unbelievable.
I'm kidding. I don't want your dad to hate me any more than he does.
It's
sorry.
Impossible. Like, you're on his list. But we already talked about Griffin.
Talked about this. Yeah. Darius Williams outside, Trey Herndon inside is a possibility, but I think you play Shaq this week and let's see where it goes from there. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I'm with you, Pete. I think if Shaq has a similar performance again or is struggling, then I think you make the change.
All right, next question. At Fast Jack's Trivia, how do you think Coach Peterson will keep this team focused through adversity?
The man had his starting quarterback go down during a season he won the Super Bowl. I think he's okay handling adversity. I
mean, Doug is pretty even keel.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that even when they won those two, talking to guys in the locker room, like, all right, great, we won. Enjoy it, but move on. And I think he understands that, like, all right, we got to fix things. We got to make plays. We got to clean things up. A lot of it is self-inflicted. Let's go find a way to win one game. And that's really it. I know Pete hates this, and this is not player coach talk. But when you've lost the games the last 3 weeks the way you have, and you're a young team, I think literally the message is let's just go win one. Let's just go beat the Giants. Don't worry about anything else. I don't care about last week. I don't care about 2 weeks from now. Let's go find a way to beat the New York Giants. Let's act like it's the dang playoffs and just go win a game. Because I think they just need to get the taste out of their mouth and trying to get some positive, reinforcement, some validation of what they're trying to do.
Yeah, you don't need any rah-rah speech or anything like that. Doug's been around the block. He knows he won a Super Bowl, like I said, when his quarterback went down. He knows how to handle adversity. And if losing games, that's not adversity. That's just losing games. He'll figure it out. He'll be fine.
Next question from @StillAJags fan. Pete, how many games do you think this team will win now? I know you'll be realistic.
I'm sticking to my guns. What'd I say, 6 to 8?
Yeah.
I'm sticking to it. I don't think they'll win more than that.
I'm 7-9. I'm 7.
A couple weeks ago, I would have said, if you asked me that a couple weeks ago, I might have changed that, but I'm not changing it. I think 6 to 8 is spot on.
Yeah, I'm 7-9. Where I'm at.
What if they rip off 3 straight? Will you change your pick? That then you're going to sit here and say, "Woo, I might be low."
You know I will. I mean, we win 3 straight. It's going to go up.
Well, they're not going to win at Kansas City. They probably don't ever beat the Titans, so there's 2 losses.
See, you're already beat right there, Pete. You have the mentality you're not going to go win. I mean, come on. You gotta have some confidence going in to Kansas City.
Like the man said, I'm spicy and real. I'm going to call it like I see it.
Next question from @FitJagChick. When do we panic?
No.
We're so close. Not even close.
No. This is a year one of Doug Peterson getting this culture turned around and getting this team to start feeling better. There's a bunch of young players on this team. Panic. If you won 3 games all year, 2 games all year, then you might panic. They'll win more than that. Don't panic.
Yeah, there's no. I mean, yeah, I think that's way premature. Way premature.
Panic happened in 2021, and we saw how that played out.
Ooh.
Well, I think we all panicked the day that he was hired.
Yeah, but he did have a bullhorn on the practice field, so he had that going for him.
Next question. Social media, Fanatics, fan questions. @Zach Bierman, what did you see in Trevor's fourth quarter drive that gives you confidence he's growing as a QB?
I mean, he was effective. Made good decisions. Was accurate. That out he threw to Zay Jones was tremendous. Not every quarterback can end up. Matt Ryan can't make that play. He cannot throw that ball.
No.
I'd like to see them do it more. I'd like to see them press the ball down the field more. Christian Kirk has been pretty quiet lately. What do you have, 2 or 3 catches against the Colts? He had the opening catch.
The touchdown.
He had a touchdown catch.
Yep.
Yeah, so 3 catches I think he had. 1 was for negative yards, though, because it was a screen.
Yeah, I think it was like 3 for 20 or something like that.
Yeah, it was nothing.
It was 5 targets, 4 catches for 24.
Yeah, got it. They got to get him down the field some. They got to get the ball down the field. I'm with you, Tony. That's one. Look, that was a beautiful drive and all, but I want to see some 65-yard shots over the top for touchdowns too. You don't see that. What's the longest shot that he's had this year down the field?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard
for
to
a touchdown. For a touchdown.
I don't know.
There haven't been many.
No, I'd like to see them try to push the ball down the field more too, Pete. But I think they're just trying to get him confident.
He left a couple clean pockets again yesterday.
Yeah.
Which, now, the one play he left the clean pocket, I looked at it, there was nobody open. So, but sometimes you got to wait. Those guys do come open.
I'd like him to use his feet more running as well.
When he gets outside the pocket. Yeah. Rather than always try and make a throw down the field. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, like the one play when he did run out of the pocket on that, when he scrambled down the left sideline, that was one of those plays where he just took off. He saw there was nobody there and he just went.
I loved it.
Great play in that moment, for sure. Final question from social media @dub_talk. There's 2 questions, apparently. Is nose tackle or number 1 wide receiver a big need in the offseason? And then number 2, is there anybody on the trade market we can realistically go after during the trade deadline? That's, a couple weeks away, Pete, right?
Number 2, no. Because this is a team building to something. You don't give away assets to go get somebody that's going to help you in the short term. So I would say no on that.
If they were 5-1, Pete?
Definitely. What's that?
If they were 5-1, Pete, would that change your mentality on that?
No, because this is you're building something. You want to have as many assets as you can to build, not go give away picks to go get a player who might be at the tail end of his career or might not be here in a couple of years. I'm not doing that if I'm them, and I don't think they will either. As far as the number 1 wide receiver, yes, they need one. And that's not a slight on Kirk because they paid him a boatload of money. What it is you draft one of those guys. That's where you find Jefferson, Chase, there's the star. You got to find one of those guys because you don't have one of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, nose tackle is not a priority.
I don't think it is either.
Oh. Is number 1 a priority? I'm not going to go do that in free agency. I'll tell you that much right now.
No.
And then after that, you got to see where you draft. I mean, I could argue, now this all depends where you draft. Is a big 3 technique who can rush the passer the priority. Is
well, right now they draft number 9, I think.
Oh, here we go. We're already starting it. It's week 6 going on 7. And
What?
Pete, I had
number 9.
come on. Unbelievable. I thought we
But
would get all
you know
the
what
way
I mean?
through.
It depends where you draft is what your priority is.
Well, you also have, like if you went in the next, let's just play it out, just for argument. They're going to draft, will you draft an offensive lineman? They're going to have to make a decision on, Taylor had another pretty good game yesterday.
I don't know if they can pay Taylor and Cam and Sheriff. You can't pay 3 guys on the offensive line over
So
7.
Taylor's walking no matter what in your world.
I think he's going to. I don't think you can pay him. How do you pay Cam Robinson 17 or 18, Sheriff almost 20, and then right tackle he's minimum you're gonna have to pay him 15 to 17.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I think Cam's been okay. I don't think he's lived up to his contract at all.
Yeah, but you can't get rid of him.
No, I know you can't. So, yeah, so they might have to draft an offensive lineman if they have an early pick.
They might, or unless you have confidence Walker Little can do it, but I haven't seen that yet.
No, heck no. But okay, what would be the priority position if you were drafting? You mentioned the 3 technique who can rush the passer, but those guys are hard. You're talking about Aaron Donald and gang. Good luck with that.
Well, there's more. I'm not saying. Yeah, all of us like to find Aaron Donald, but there's other good players.
The kid at Georgia is a good player. Jalen Carter, he got hurt, but he's a good player. Big physical guy, can rush the passer.
You might need to go get a corner.
You're right. You probably do.
Yeah, because this organization drafted 2 corners in the first round, and neither one of them are here anymore.
That's a problem.
Well,
here's the thing that you're still doing.
Well, you hope if you draft one, he's more like Jalen Ramsey than the other guy.
You're still paying for the sins of bad drafts for 10 years.
That's right. That's exactly what the issue is right now. Well, there you have it. The social media questions are in, and, I definitely would have gotten beat. I had the over on Thanksgiving talking about draft, but Pete beat us.
Every time I mention the draft, you start waving your hand at me and stuff, JP.
No, but JP, in fairness to Pete, he did not bring up the draft. We had a fan question asking us about priorities for next season.
But then he said, oh, by the way, they would draft 9th right now. Who cares? What are you talking about?
That's a good point. That was a dumb comment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's not a dumb comment. You'd be a top 10 drafting team again.
It's a dumb comment, Pete. I'm sorry.
No,
Tony, thank you.
How many years in a row can you draft in the top 10?
Let's not find out.
That's not funny.
Yeah, I don't want to find out either. We'll come back in a moment. We'll go around the NFL. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hey Jags fans, Brian Sexton for Dreamfinders Homes. In a complex housing market, do decisions on the biggest purchase of your life stress you out? At Dreamfinders Homes, they can build the home of your dreams in one of their many communities in Northeast Florida. With a mortgage company in-house, they're here to assist you throughout the entire process. Choose from their wide range of single-family homes or townhomes from the 300,000s. Dreamfinders Homes specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. Call 904-590-2545 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Hey, it's Marissa Garnhart, girlfriend of Jacksonville Jaguars running back James Robinson. Enter now for your chance to win behind-the-scenes access, game tickets, and more. Look for details at Publix where you can pick up all your game day needs, including Bounty, Tide, Pantene, and Crest. Tackle everything in one stop. Available at Publix where shopping is a pleasure.
It's Ford Truck Month. Now's the time to get a great deal on the only trucks built Ford tough. Work or play, get after it in a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Get a Ford Maverick or get after any adventure in a Ford Ranger pickup. Take advantage of our best offers on the full Ford lineup of trucks. But you better get going. These deals won't last. Get to Ford Truck Month. Some models, trims, and features may not be available or may be subject to change. See your local dealer for details.
Life's better with a financial partner like Ameris Bank. From opening your first savings account to funding your kids' college tuition, we're with you.
From a flash of a business idea to growing that company just as fast.
We're with you.
From buying a home to tackling the renovations to make it truly yours.
We're with you. You have big plans.
Financial questions.
And decisions to make.
And for every idea, life goal, and new venture, we're with you all the way. Visit amerisbank.com/withyou to get started. Ameris Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Struggling with high energy bills? Now is the time to replace your old windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen. Right now, get $300 off every window and $825 off all patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Visit rbafla.com for details. Offer expires September 30th. Restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, the official window and door replacement company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CGC 1527613.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
When Jaguars news breaks, you'll hear about it first on 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour coming down the home stretch on a Monday after a Jaguars loss in Indianapolis. The Jags are now 2-4. J.P. Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. Glad you're along with us. Thanks for all the social media interaction today on Twitter. Pete's getting hammered as we speak.
For what?
No, just it always kind of seems to be that way. They're saying you picked the Jags over the Giants after yesterday, and they're on you about that.
I picked the Jags over the Giants.
Did you not do that? You said they.
I haven't made a pick yet.
You said you think the Jags will beat the Giants.
I do, but I haven't made the final pick yet. I think they will. I do my picks on Tuesday.
Thank you, Pete.
Unless I lock it.
I forgot.
Are you locking the Giants game?
No. I'm with you, I think, on that one.
Let's go around the National Football League, get to some games. The Falcons over the Niners, 28-14. The Niners turned it over 3 times. A late Falcons touchdown before half, and then another in the third put it away. Patriots over the Browns, 38-15. Bill Belichick moving on up in the history books.
The Patriots roll over Cleveland 38-15, and another win in the distinguished career, a career unlike any other head coaches for Bill Belichick. Win number 324 for Belichick. Combined playoffs regular season. He ties George S. Halas, the patriarch of the franchise. The Patriots are going to host next Monday.
That's Bob Sosi on the 98.5 Sports Hub Patriots Radio Network. They just keep on, he's been at it for a long, long time. And now he's starting to get some of the highest levels in coaching, Pete.
He's going to take down the record before he retires. He's going to get Don Shula. By the way, I thought that would be a record that would never be broken. And you don't see guys coaching in their 70s, but now you do. And, he's going to coach into his 70s. He said he would never do it, but he's going to do it. He's going to get the record. And by the way, at 3-3, that team's he's done a hell of a job with that team. I mean, that just to see them go into Cleveland with Bailey Zappi as their quarterback and win at Cleveland, that tells you how good a coach he is.
Yeah, it is remarkable. And what's remarkable to me is that his offensive coordinators are Joe Judge and Matt Patricia. That's what's amazing to me, Pete.
One thing about the record, though, he's doing it in an era where you had more games per season and extra playoff games. So it's a little bit different. But still, you never thought you'd see it even be challenged.
Right. And there he is knocking on the door. The Jets and the Packers at Lambeau. The Jets leading 17-10 early at the start of the fourth quarter, and then they broke it open.
Zach Wilson takes the snap. Counter handoff. Up the middle goes Breece Hall. He's at the 30, at the 25, 20. Right side, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! A little counter inside handoff to Breece Hall, who finds some Jet fans in the crowd and does a Jets Lambeau leap. The Jets answer right back with a touchdown to stretch the lead to 2 scores.
Yeah, Bob Wischusen on the 98.7 ESPN Jets radio network. Brees Hall 116 on 20 carries, and the Jets won it 27-10. What's up with the Packers, by the way?
They beat the hell out of them. They physically mauled their offensive line. They pressured Rodgers. They hit him. They ran the ball on him. You know what that play was that they just described? That was the old crossbuck. Remember that one, Tony, when you were in high school? They ran it again inside. You crossed it up, boom. Ran it. Packers have issues. Give the Jets credit. Didn't the Jaguars interview Robert Saleh 2 years ago?
They interviewed him when they
hired Urban. Yeah. Oops.
I thought Robert Saleh would be a really good head coach.
I did too.
He's doing a good job.
Yep. And LaFleur beat LaFleur. LaFleur, the offensive coordinator, beat LaFleur, the head coach.
Vikings in Miami against the Dolphins. Third quarter, Vikings up 16-10, and then they pulled away in South Beach.
Handoff Dalvin, Miami native with some room left side. There he goes to the right. He gets to the 30. Dalvin 20 and is loose. Touchdown! Welcome home, Dalvin Cook. He just ran into the end zone and ran the Minnesota Vikings to a 22-10 lead.
24-16, the final Vikings win. It's Paul Allen on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings radio network. No, it's not South Beach. It's Miami Gardens. You get the idea. Either way, Vikings are rolling.
Paul Allen must have like bad throat. There's screaming in his voice. I mean, it's every time. By the way, I like Paul, but his voice has to be tested every game.
He's a horse racing announcer too. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Dolphins. Skylar Thompson starts, gets knocked out of the game with a hand injury. They have to go back to Teddy Bridgewater, who didn't start because he had a concussion last week. I mean, or concussion symptoms. I mean, crazy. And now Tua's going to be back, and they play Sunday night against the Steelers. They've lost 3 in a row. Vikings are 5-1. 5-1.
Yeah.
They're one of the better teams in the league right now.
Well, and they are clearly the best team in the NFC North.
Correct. Right now they are.
Not even close. Certainly the way the Packers are playing. Bengals over the Saints 30-26, and the Giants and the Ravens. The Ravens led this one 20-10 after an early fourth quarter pass by Lamar Jackson. And then the Giants rallied. 2 touchdowns in the final 7 minutes, and then they left it up to the defense to get it done.
Jackson in a shotgun set, calls signals, takes the snap, he's back to throw. Under pressure, hit by Thibodeau, ball comes loose, and the Giants scramble for it. It's still loose, and finally recovered by the Giants at the 12-yard line. Kayvon Thibodeau gets his first career sack in big fashion.
That was the ending, and Bob Papa on the WFAN Giants radio network. The Giants coming in here next week, of course. Pete, and there's your guy, Thibodeau, getting home.
Look, he's got that explosive ability. He's going to be a big-time pass rusher. Give Brian Dable credit, man. That team is tough, physical, feisty, and they get after it. They run the ball with Barkley, and they play good defense, and they get after the quarterback. I mean, they're not that good, I'll be honest with you, but they've earned their 5-1. They've won those games, and they've been physical in every single one of them. It's going to be a tough game, but when you say if you're playing the Jaguars, a team that can throw it around is the one that's going to give them more problems than a team that's going to run the ball.
Yes, unless you're the Philadelphia Eagles, then you're going to run the ball against pretty much everybody. But yeah, Pete, overall I agree. But Saquon Barkley's back.
He is back.
He's back, healthy, and dynamic. He's a handful.
Evan Ingram, a revenge game.
Yeah, I like that. Steelers over the Bucks 20-18. The Rams beat the Panthers 24-10. Seahawks over the Cardinals 19-9. And then the Bills and the Chiefs. A rematch of the playoff game. The Bills took the lead on a Josh Allen to Dawson Knox touchdown with 1:04 to play. And then Patrick Mahomes had the football in his hand, 2 timeouts, and a chance to get the Chiefs on top.
Mahomes takes, has a pocket, gets away to the right a little bit. He fires downfield. It is picked off at the 20-yard line, intercepted by the Bills, picked off by Taron Johnson. He goes down right there, and the Bills have the football. They are celebrating. They're running down to the end zone for the celebration. They pick off Patrick Mahomes.
That's John Murphy on WGR Sports Radio 550 Buffalo, and Mahomes can't get it done. You mentioned the pressure kind of moved him off to the side in that play, Pete, a little earlier.
What they did is that, Von Miller had been going around the corner all game, and on that play, they rushed him. He took an inside thing, and they doubled him, but he got through. And then when Mahomes was flushed, Matt Milano was spying him right there, kind of forced him, and he never saw the defensive back standing there. And it was just, look, the Bills, for all the talk about their offense, the Bills have the number 1 ranked scoring defense in the league. Leslie Frazier's a damn good coach, and he doesn't get the due he deserves. They're the best team in the league. Josh Allen's the MVP right now. And to be honest with you, I thought the Bills played into their hands early in that game. They tried to establish the run. They ran it okay, but when you're running, if the Buffalo Bills are running the ball on me, I'm okay with that. I just don't want that guy throwing it all over the place.
Well, those are the 2 best teams in the AFC.
Without a doubt.
I think it's – I don't think anyone's close to those 2.
No, the only team that I think has a chance to get back into is Cincinnati. Because early in the season, they played 4 of their first 6 on the road, had some hiccups along the way, but they're starting to pick it up a little bit.
What's their record now, Pete? Are they
3-3?
3-3.
They should have beat the Ravens 2 weeks ago. They should have won that game. But as it turns out, they're 3-3, and they're going to have their schedule's favorable in the next couple of weeks. They'll get it going. But that's the only one. Who else in the AFC can you make? Tennessee, Indy, no. The Chargers, no. They got so many injuries that. No, there's nobody. I think that the 2 teams, it's clear it's Buffalo and Kansas City.
Yep.
And then last night, the Eagles and the Cowboys. Eagles built an early lead. Jalen Hurts continuing his strong play early in this season.
Hurts takes the snap. He's going to fake, looks, throws short right side. That's caught across the 10, down to the 5. Brown into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. A.J. Brown across the formation, and Jalen Hurts hits him in stride for 6 more. 10:40 to go in the second quarter. Eagles lead at 13-0 with the extra point coming up.
And the extra point was good. The Eagles win at 26-17. It's Ryan Radke on Westwood 1. The Eagles are undefeated still.
They're hard to defend. That's a hard group to defend, particularly when you don't have time to prepare for them in the middle of the season. They're tough to prepare for. Here's one thing, though, about the Eagles. They've scored a total of 22 points in the second half. That's going to catch up with you eventually. They're not good at adjusting after halftime. That'll catch up to you.
Yeah, I agree. But they're the only undefeated team.
Best team. They're the best team in the league right now, but they've earned the right to say they are. But Buffalo is better than them.
Neutral field. I'm taking Buffalo over Philly.
Me too.
Monday Night Football. It's a battle in the AFC West. Nate Hackett, Russell Wilson, and the 2-3 third-place Denver Broncos head to SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles for a matchup against Justin Herbert and the 3-2 second-place Los Angeles Chargers. Who you got tonight in Inglewood?
Chargers. Look, Russell Wilson's not playing very well, and then my shoulder hurts too? Come on, give me a break.
What was all the noise? I was trying to remember. Like, was it Richard Sherman and Bobby Wagner who took shots at Russell Wilson?
Teammates didn't like him. Yeah, they never liked him.
Or was it just? I don't want to put words in it.
I think it was everybody. It was a bunch of guys, by the way.
I remember reading something about Richard Sherman for sure.
Yeah, Bobby Wagner too, I think. I mean, but look, he is what he is, and at one point he was a damn good quarterback, but so far this year he hadn't been. And the heat is on Nate Hackett. I don't think they'll get rid of him, but boy, he's got to turn that thing around quick.
Could he be a one and done, Pete?
Well, new ownership, sometimes that happens, right? That happens. By the way, no left tackle. Garrett Bowles now done for the year. Ronald Darby, starting corner, now done for the year. They've had a ton.
Bowles?
Broke his leg last week.
All right, guys, that'll do it. Have a great week, guys. We'll talk to you.
All right, see you guys.
Can't wait, JP.
That's Pete and Tony. I'm JP, Joe Fortunato, Brent Reber, our whole crew. Thank you for listening and watching. It is Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.